Hey kids, it's Grandma. I'm in my kitchen because we're gonna do something fun today. I think I told you last time after we got done reading our book that I was gonna show you how to make one serving of Rice Krispie Treats. And I have, today is a little different because I've got some new equipment. If you can see, I'm wearing a clip-on microphone, which means I can talk to you from far away and not have to hold my phone. And I also have a tripod, which is kind of cool. So I can use my hands today to show you how to make this. And we'll see if this works, okay? All right, first off, to make Rice Krispie Treats, you've got to have Rice Krispies. Not very many, but you have to have Rice Krispies. So if you don't have a full box, that's okay. If you have some left, that's good. You need to have marshmallows. And you need to have butter, okay? And you should all have these kinds of things in your house. You might have to have your mom go get some Rice Krispies, and she may have to go get some marshmallows, but you should have butter. But if you have those three things, you can make Rice Krispie Treats for a long time because it comes with it only takes a little tiny bit, not a little tiny bit, but a little bit to make one serving of Rice Krispie Treats. Okay, so there's some things you need to know about this though, because you are going to use the microwave. And for those of you who are kind of young, you might need to ask for some help. But for those of you who are older and can use the microwave yourself, then you can do this, and you can do it. Just say, Mom, I'm going to make me a Rice Krispie treat, and you're good to go if she says okay. Now, I used to make a whole pan of Rice Krispie Treats when all of my kids were still at home. But now, since it's just me and Grandpa, I can't make a whole pan of Rice Krispie Treats because you know what'll happen? I'll eat them, and I can eat them all. I love Rice Krispie Treats, and for some reason, you can just eat a whole lot of Rice Krispie Treats. Grandpa eats them sometimes, but he doesn't eat them as much as I do, so I only make one little serving, and then it's just enough to just make me feel good, and I don't have to eat a whole pan. Okay, but there are a couple things I want to talk to you about the microwave, and maybe your mom has already talked to you about this. Maybe your dad, too. You cannot put... There's only certain things you can put in a microwave. You cannot put anything silver in the microwave. And the reason you can't is because it could cause a fire. It could also ruin your microwave. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so anything silver that's like metal, you can't put in the microwave. And that's why you have to make sure you take your spoons and forks and everything out of your bowl before you microwave your food. So you can't use a microwave bowl, you can't use a metal bowl. This bowl doesn't look like it's metal, one of my popcorn bowls, but it's painted and it is metal. You can kind of hear that. It sounds kind of like metal. So these two bowls are out, cannot use them. All right, what you can use is you can use a glass bowl. Now I know you Shirley kids, you have those white glass bowls that you use for cereal. Those are perfect. They're wonderful. Lexi and Shard's kids, you Hill kids, you can use a paper bowl. You can use a paper bowl, but you want to make sure it's kind of big enough. Do not use styrofoam. I wish I would have grabbed some styrofoam, but it's like a hot chocolate paper cup. You don't want to use that stuff because it'll melt in the microwave. So glass is the best. So I always use this bowl, and I can't get rid of it because this is what I use for Rice Krispie Treats. So I'm going to keep it. I did get rid of a whole lot of things, after I got my new dishes for Christmas, but I don't want to get rid of this one because it's perfect. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm going to turn you around so that you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to talk as we go. All right, let me see if I can turn my camera around. Well, I thought I could do it. I should be able to do it. Oh well, maybe not. Okay, well then we're going to go right down here where you can see. All right, here's my butter dish. Now, let me show you. You're going to take, oh my goodness. Now this, remember, we're only making it for one person. So you're going to take about that much. It's not a whole lot. Do you see my knife? It's just enough to, like you would spread on a piece of bread or a piece of toast, okay? So you're going to take no more than this. That might be even a little too much. I think it is. So we're going to take this much, okay? Do you see it? We're going to put it in the bowl. Just going to put it right in the bowl. Little tiny bit, not very much. Now I always like to clean up as I go because I can't stand messes out. So I'm going to put the lid on my butter and move it over there. Put my knife in the sink, and you take this butter, and you don't even have to melt it first. Now, I have some marshmallows here, but you know what? They've kind of been in my cupboard for a long time, and they're kind of crunchy, and I don't want to use those, so I'm going to throw those away. And I bought me a new bag, and they're nice and soft and fluffy. So you take your marshmallows, and you open them up, and you're going to pour, you just kind of guess. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking I might get a measuring cup, and let's see what I think it ends up being. It's kind of noisy. Okay, this is a cup, measuring cup, but I don't know if you need that much. So you're going to fill up your cup. You can kind of guess if you want. That's what I do. But I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, that's not even a full cup. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Let's say a big handful. A big handful. Okay, then you don't even have to get the measuring cup up, because that'll be much easier. See, it doesn't take hardly anything. Then, I'm going to move you up here a little bit. We're going to go over here to the microwave, and we're going to put it, and look, I didn't put any fork in it or anything. Nothing in it, no metal. Stick it in the microwave, and I turn it on for 1 minute. Now, some of your microwaves have a button where you just push the 1 and it goes for 1 minute. Mine says add minute, and so I'm going to push that. And another thing, let me tell you, the reason that maybe you hill boys don't want to use a paper plate is because your paper bowl, is that they only come up so far. They're not deep. Now, if you have big ones, that's better. But the reason I say that is, and the reason I use a bowl that's kind of big, kind of high and tall, is because your marshmallows, when they cook in the microwave, they're going to puff up and get really big. And if they puff up too much in something too small, they're going to just run over and make a big mess. So that's why you want a tall bowl. So I'm going to stick it in there, and I'm going to cook it for a minute. I have my fork ready because this is what I'm going to use to stir it, okay? And then, of course, I like to clean up as I go, and so I'm going to close up my marshmallows. I got to close them up because I don't want them to get hard and yucky. So I'm going to put those back in the cupboard pretty soon. I'll put my measuring cup away because I didn't really get it dirty. And throw my trash away as we go. And it's still cooking, it's still cooking, it's still cooking. When it dings, it'll be ready. And the nice thing is it doesn't take very long to cook these. So once they're cooked, you stir it up, and you can eat it right away if you want. They're kind of warm, which is really weird for Rice Krispie Treats. You can let it sit for a little while, and then it kind of cools off and everything. One thing you want to be careful about when this is done cooking for this time is that you need to remember that your bowl it might be kind of hot. And Jonah knows about that because Jonah makes Easy Mac, and he has to use a towel to get this out because it's too hot. So you need to be careful. Yep, that's hot. And I can hold it, and it's not going to hurt me too much, but it might hurt you guys, especially you little ones like Evie or Amari. It's really, really hot. You don't want to grab it and burn your hands because you'll drop the bowl, and then it might break. You make a mess. Oh, it's horrible. So I've got this little tiny pot holder, and I'm going to just grab my bowl like this because I'm not touching it. I'm using the pot holder, and look how fluffy they get. Isn't that crazy? So I'm going to take my fork and mix the butter and the marshmallow around, and I think this is going to be good. I think it was just enough. I might have a little bit more butter than I wanted. I think I do. So I'm going to put in, and this is the kind of thing you just kind of guess. I'm going to put in just a few more marshmallows because I don't think it's quite enough. And you can always ask your moms and say, does this look right? And they'll be able to tell you. Oh, Grandpa's in here doing his work. Today is Saturday, so we do our work. Okay, see, I've got more marshmallows. Ooh, that bowl is kind of hot. So I'm going to get my pot holder and put it back in the microwave. Now this time I don't need to cook it for a whole minute. So I'm going to cook it for 30 seconds, half of a minute. And then those other marshmallows, because the stuff is already kind of hot in there, it'll melt those other marshmallows. All right? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, and then after this, guess what? We just put Rice Krispie cereal in it. Actually, you could use different kind of cereal if you wanted. You could use Cocoa Krispies. You could use anything, any kind of cereal that you think would be good in there. But I like Rice Krispies because they're just so good, and that's kind of how Rice Krispie Treat started. Okay, I've got my pot holder. Got to have my pot holder because now it's going to be even more hot. Look, yikes! See, those are funny looking. Okay, I'm going to get my pot holder and hold the bowl. But, yep, they're all melted up, mixed up with the butter, and it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. It's not even hardly anything in there. But you put Rice Krispies in there and mix it up, and oh my goodness gracious, your life is much better. Okay, so I just keep the fork in there. Now, watch how many I put in, because this is about how many you'll put in. You just pour it very slowly, and that's probably enough. Close it up, move it away. Oops, I'd lost one. Better put that guy in there. He'll be sad. And look, it's almost like you've got a bowl of Rice Krispies that you're going to eat for breakfast. But you start mixing it up in that yummy marshmallow stuff and mix it up till everything is coated and sticking together. Turn and scrape the sides. Scrape the sides so you get all those, go all the way to the bottom. Bring it back up. Did you know that Aunt Lisa, this is one of her favorite treats to make too? And she lives alone. So she doesn't want to make a big pan of Rice Krispie Treats either. She just wants enough to eat herself. And she does this all the time. She was actually the one that kind of told me about it. And I do this every once in a while. Not very much anymore because I'm really trying to eat better. But there you have it. Oh my goodness. Now this is kind of warm. It might be too hot. And your bowl is definitely hot. So you're just going to let it sit there and let it cool for a while. And then you could eat it probably in about 5 minutes. Probably about 5 minutes. All right, so that is easy. That's something that you can do all by yourself. It's something that you can do with help from your mom. And she can just kind of supervise you if you're a little afraid to do it the first time. You bigger kids, if you have the stuff, you can do it. Just be careful. Don't use metal in the microwave, and don't and be careful with the hot bowl. You don't want to hurt yourself with a hot bowl. So, all right, well, you know what? Let's throw these bad marshmallows away. I guess I wish we had, birds or something that could eat them, but I don't even know if the birds could eat them. Hey, maybe you could make a Rice Krispie Treat and go take it to your mom. She would love that. That would be kind of cool. She'd be pretty happy about that. Then she'd probably let you make them quite a bit because you're sharing. I'll tell you what, though, I think your mom would even be more happy than getting the Rice Krispie Treat is if you cleaned up your mess. That would really make your mom happy. So make sure after you're done cooking this that you put your Rice Krispies back, you put your marshmallows back, you put the butter back, you put your whatever you use to stir it or anything in the sink, and then when you're done eating your Rice Krispie Treat, you put your bowl in the sink and rinse it out because that stuff will get kind of hard and sticky and yucky. But don't leave your stuff out. Moms will be very happy if you clean up the kitchen after you're done. All right, guys, this was a short one, only 14 minutes long. But that's something that you can do, and you can do by yourself. So we will see you another day and give it a try and see how you do. Just remember, a little bit of butter, big handful of marshmallows, and then probably about a cup of Rice Krispies. Okay? All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.